Alright everybody, how y'all doing today? I am coming on that with you. I love doing these price lists. Let's go ahead and start off. I want all the newcomers to come into gaming to go ahead on and enjoy what gaming is about and building your PC is all about. You got some builders out there now. If you don't know how to build your PC, you have a pre-built. If you buy the pre-built, the best pre-built you could go is to nzxt.com. I think it's called built.com, something like that. But you could go ahead on and go to nzxt.com, and you could go ahead on and allow them to go ahead and build you a nice basic gaming pre-built PC. Or if you run a micro center, or if you live next to a micro center, you could go to them and they'll help you build your PC for you if you don't know how to build it. Or if you are a builder and you know what you're doing, you've been watching them tutorials on YouTube, then you're good to go. Alrighty, so let's get into this pre-built list here from Price Pickers. I love this website. You cannot go wrong with it because it gives you everything you need to know when putting your PC together. Now, in my last build, I had a micro ATX board, and my eyes got crossed, and I wear glasses. That's kind of sad as well too, so don't laugh at me. I just saw ATX. So in that last pre-built I did, it said micro ATX, but I mostly use mid ATX tile cases because I like the room into them, and I like to go ahead on and team them up with micro ATXs and ATX motherboards. So we're going to go ahead and get onto this here build here, and we're going to get it right. We are coming on the AM4. Motherboard series is the 500 series. I'm using the B550 series on this build list here. So we're going to go right. We're going to go strong. The processor I'm going to use is the Ryzen 5 3600X, 6 cores, 12 threads. I use it. It's a beast. It's a monster. Base core clock is 3.6 with the boost of 4.2 boost. And you can't go wrong with it. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Alright, starting off with the motherboard. I love this. Now, you know I love Amazon. I love Asus. I love ASRock. I mess with BioStar. But BioStar is like a last option because with BioStar, you got to play with it. But if you use their B450 boards as well as their B550s, you can't go wrong with it. And I use Gigabyte. Now, if you're an MSI user, you love MSI parts, then pick your parts, pick MSI. You can go ahead and pick your build the way you like it, how you want it. It's your build. You're paying for it. You building it for yourself, and you're gonna be satisfied when you're done with it. Alrighty, but this one here, I'm going with Gigabyte. I'm setting it to AM4. I'm going micro ATX, and I'm going with the B550 series. Alrighty. As you know, I ain't got to go ahead and do the memory type because I already know where I'm going at with it. Alrighty, I'm going with the Gigabyte B550M DS3H. It's an AM4 micro ATX. Max memory of this board is 128 gigabytes. So yes, if you want to go ahead on and max out the RAM, you could go ahead on and get a quad kit of 32 gigabyte per stick. 32 times 4 is 128. Now, if you want to go extreme gaming, then do your thing. But right now, I am putting it on. The base is 32 gigabytes. I'm doing two dual kits of 16 gigabytes per piece. So let's go ahead and do it. This board's coming in at $94. Alrighty, picking out the CPU. And this is one thing I love. This I'm going with the Ryzen 5 3600, 6 cores, 12 threads, 3.6 gigahertz clock, 4.2 gigahertz boost. TDP is at 65 watts. It is not an APU, so it don't have no integrated graphics. It has SMT, yes, and of course it gets 5 stars all around. So it's coming in at $199, and yes, it's still a monster because I'm using it in my editing rig, and it pushed perfectly. Coming in at $199.99. Memory. I'm teaming that memory up with 32 gigabyte dual kit stick. So let's go to that right now. and I'm doing it at 32 megahertz speed. You can't go wrong with that. That's what everybody pushing is 32 megahertz. If you like overclocking, I'll let you go ahead and pick the highest memory. If you launch your part, say OC, you could go 42 gigabyte of RAM at 42 megahertz OC overclocking. So you know how y'all. It's up to how y'all want to do it. So right now I'm going dual kick, so I'm putting it on 32 gigabytes. That's two 16 gigabyte sticks per piece, and it's coming in at non-ECC. If you overclock and you need ECC chippings, I don't use ECC chippings, since I know a lot of people don't overclock their parts. They play that regular mode, and when you use now, if you're using a ASUS motherboard, they have a special design chip that automatically pick up overclocking CPUs and set everything at settings for you. So you might want to go ahead on and check into that. If you know what you're doing with overclocking, then do your thing. Me, I don't believe in overclocking my parts. I don't need all the extra power or extra boost in playing my games at 1080p or 1080p max. Alrighty, gonna go from low price to high. I like the PNYs. I can't go wrong with them as long as they don't overclock. But the thing here I love the most is the Teen Group. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some Teen Group memory on this here, and we're gonna go with the Teen Group 32 gigabyte red sticks at $129.99. Of course, it's RGB, so when the RGB light hit that red heat sink, you are good to go. You cannot complain about it. It's gonna make it pop because I'm on a pair of red myself, and awesome. Alrighty, storage will be teamed up as Teen Group as well. Yes, sir. Teen Group. See, that's the thing. Whatever. See, I'll use basically storage are Samsung, Western Digital, Seagate, and Teen Group. Those are the only four storage I use for my PCs. That is it. Anything else, I never heard of it. I'm not ranking it, but those are my four base main. I know how I use them. I know what they do. I have no issues with them. I use them all in the past. I'm using them as we speak right now in the present. So I can't go wrong with it. So let's go down to Teen Group. And we're going to do the M.2 first. We're going to get the M.2 out of the way. We're going to NVM, yes. And then we go ahead and put the gigabyte. I think, yeah, we're going, it's 512 sticks. So we're going to go ahead and max out the 512 gigabyte. So let's do this. Capacity. So I can just go ahead and pick which ones I'm using. I'm going to put from 480 to about 525. Alrighty. And there we go. NVM MP33. At $55.99. Now, if you like using Samsung or you like using Crucial, whatever stores you like to use, y'all use it. I love Teen Group. They fix the budget. They fit the budget perfectly. So I can't go wrong with the pricing. All right, I'm going with the SSD. Now, take note in mind, if your boy has a M.2 slot on there, which this boy has one in the M.2 slot, keep in mind that your SATA port 1 will be disabled, so you'll be using SATA port 2 on out. If your motherboard comes with 6 ports, you're gonna be using 2 through 6 for the rest of your connections. All right. I will put a spin on it, but once I tried the SSD, you can put a spin on it if you want to. But I like using SSDs because it boosts up everything faster and quick. It's with the swift speed, you can't go wrong with it. Alright, going to SSD, my 2.5. And let's go back up to gigabyte. We're going to go to about 480. 480 gigabyte is good, so you can use a 480 gigabyte. But if you need more, all depends on how big your game files are. If you got big game files, I prefer for you going to spend about 4 terabyte or higher. See, in my gaming rig, I got 500 hard drive. I got 6 gigabyte. What I'm talking about? I got 500 gigabyte in my gaming rig, so I don't have to worry about nothing. Just the storage and the space is there. So that's one thing I don't have to worry about. And when you got all that max storage in there, especially my case holds 6 hard drives, so and I will be putting that case in this build here. It's a Rosewill. The D100s house the same thing. You could go ahead and connect up to 4 SSDs and 2 3.5s. So just keep that in mind. That's what I'm saying. When you go ahead and pick your case, always make sure your case is about 8 inches in width and about good 15 inches tall and about good 16 to 17 inches in diameter, because when you buy them big massive GPUs that's about over 10 inches, a lot of people make their mistakes because they crank out their GPUs without paying attention to the case specs, and then they get all pissy, mad, and everything because they said, "Oh my gosh, my CPU won't fit in my casing," and they go crazy. So make sure when you put everything together that you pay attention to your case specs. All right, I'm teaming out here with the Team Group CX2 for $52.99. That's a 512 gigabyte storage. So you got 2 512s in there. That brings it up to 1,024 gigabyte of storage in your PC. Alrighty. I love rambling along, so just go ahead and give y'all that information out so y'all can go ahead on and understand what's going on, etc., why we picking the parts and why I'm choosing these parts for you. Alrighty, the video card is, as you notice, that all these cards are scalped by third-party vendors. So if you do, keep in mind, stay away from third-party vendors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to team it with a 4 gigabyte card for now, because the AMD 3600 do not come with the APU, so it don't have no integrated graphics. So I'm going to put it with a nice, good, comfortable 4 gigabyte card. Like right now, this Nvidia XE Gaming, it's an 8 gigabyte, and we all know how much the 3060 Ti's come out. They come out at a whopping at $350. This is going for $900, so you know damn good and well they are scalping that card stupidly, and it's coming from a third-party vendor. I want y'all to pay attention to the price and make sure that you know your MSRP prices on all your components. So we are not using that, and let me see, I might go with the Radeon if the price is right. The RX at 360. When this card came out, it was priced at $299 here, and then they got the XFX Black Edition for $1,050. You know damn good and well that the Black Edition, and it's been priced for $399. So yeah. Now can I use the RX 580? So we're gonna go with the 4 gigabyte card instead. We are going with the Geforce 1050 Ti, or the 1050. Yep, the 1050 Ti. This card is a 4 gigabyte card. It would give you a 1080p gaming. I advise you not to put those high-end gaming graphic cards on there, because the CG are crisp and it renders at a high rated speed. So if you're going to use, like say for instance, You build this rig here, and you know you got Resident Evil 8 coming out. Now we know damn good and well Resident Evil 8 is not gonna play on a 4 GB card. Resident Evil 8 will play on a 8 GB plus. And if you want to, if you'll take this build list here and rate on the RTX 3060 or higher, grab GPU to come up, then go on with the flow. But right now we're gonna put it here where people want to get into 1080p gaming. So if it was me, I'll be doing the same thing as well too. Stay away from the gigabyte low profiles. The Asus Phoenix is good if you want to use that, but we all know Asus are going up on their parts because they can't go ahead and keep these cards in stock. Zotac at $329, that's it, but this Asus Strix, that's overpriced. It's coming in at $730, so I won't be using that. I'm gonna be using the Gigabyte Geforce GTX 1050 Ti 4 GB for $188.98. Alrighty, since the case comes with RGB headers, I will be going with a addressable RGB case with fans, so that saves you some money. Now, this case, I'm using Rosewill D100. It goes like this. The front panel holds 3 120mm fans. If you want to go ahead and add a radiator of your choice, front could be, here you go, front, you could go 360, 280, or 240. Now, for your top, you could go a 280 and a 240 radiator. So, if you say for instance you want to go ahead on it and go 360 millimeters, you can put that 360 millimeters up front. Beautiful, easy, awesome, and you can be happy with it, and you cannot go wrong with it. Yes, sir. So, the case we are choosing, as I just got to talking about, is the Rosewill D100, and you can't go wrong with it. Why I like the D100? Because it comes with 4 door rings, addressable RGB fans, and it has the controller in the back of the case. In the back of the case, you have 2.5 mounts. You have 2 3.5 hard drive bays, and on the side panel on the case you have an additional 2.5 SSD mounts. So this case holds 6 hard drives, 4 2.5 mounts, 2 3.5 mounts. So I'm gonna go ahead on and go right to the manufacturer. I love this case. And you talking about massive airflow, this case got it. Massive airflow. It got a mesh front, sides got mesh, the top got air open, so you could go ahead, like I said, you could put a 240 or 280 radiator, or you could go 240s. You could go 140 millimeter fans or 120 millimeter fans up top. With the front, if you want to go ahead and put that 360 millimeter fans up front of the case, or you could go ahead and go 3 120 millimeter fans, and you have a 120 millimeter fan in the back. That's a total of 6 fans. If you're going fans, if you're going radiators, you could go 360 front is 360 millimeter, 280 millimeter, or 240 millimeter. Top 280 millimeter, 240 millimeter. It's your choice. All right. If you want to go ahead and look at the specs of the case, you can go to rosewill.com. I'll be putting that in the description below so you can go ahead and check them out. You can't go wrong with it. And yes, I know the motherboard is a full ATX motherboard. So, I think I'll pick a micro ATX 1 or 2. Once I go ahead and pick this case, I'll find out immediately where we're going here. As you see, it's addressable RGB fans. You can go right to their website, Rosewill Spectre D100. You can go to their website, rosewill.com. They got all their product parts up there for you to choose from, and they're trying to go ahead and get to know the information about them. If you ever choose their parts in the near future, then you are right and good to go. price is $74.98. And the motherboard I am using is a micro ATX. Yes, this case holds a micro ATX and a full ATX. Now it says you can install a mini ITX, but don't put no mini ITX in there because it's you got this little tiny beady motherboard and it's a nice humongous case. And if you put a mini ITX motherboard in here, boy, you talking about some massive airflow. You got all kind of cooler going around that case, so it's not an issue. Alrighty. And last but not least is the power supply. In this case here, I'm just gonna go ahead and go regular non-modular power supply. I know some of y'all probably, but if you, it all depends on what you want. You could add a semi, full, or no modular. It's your choice. See, this is one reason why when I do my price list, I like to go ahead and give people options and choices to use. But when you pick your power supply, make sure that it is equivalent to how much power your PSU can handle on your GPU. So you gotta make sure you do your research on your GPU you want to use. Don't sit down here and say, "Oh, let me put an RTX 3080 in there." And we all know the power supply unit is 700 watts, and you got a 500-watt power supply. You just kind of like cheated yourself because now you got to go ahead on and buy you a new power supply to meet the standards of your GPU. If you don't meet the power supply demands of your GPU, it will not boot up to all the new builders, to all the expert builders. We already know that. So this is one reason why when you put your parts together, you go to the manufacturer websites and understand go to the specifications, so you start understanding the parts, the memory, the CUDA cores, etc., the bandwidth that is given, so you could go ahead on and put everything together. So in this case, just in case y'all want to go, just like me, if you want to go RTX 3060 plus, or you want to go RX 6800, the RX 6800 is a 650-watt power supply. So we recommend it. So you need 650 watts power for that GPU. Or if you go to RTX 3080, you need 700. I think the RTX 3060 Ti is 650, and the RTX, the new one's when going to come out, is 12 gigabyte. That's a 12 gigabyte card. I think it's on the 600-watt power supply. So yes. Now, as about me giving y'all the information, we going with a 7. You know what we going with? We going with a 700 or 750-watt power supply. So that's no issue with that. So that is no issue with that. So we finna go 700 max thumping, baby. I'm finna go bronze, and I'm finna go. I'm gonna start off at 700. To about 750. I'm gonna put at 800 watts. Now you know I'm not gonna be buying no 800 watts. And like I said, if you want to go full modular or semi, that's up to you. In this case, we're going none. And let's see what we got here. Alrighty, I got a 750-watt power supply. Oh, you know I'm going with RS Game. I use their power supply. This company is for real. These power supplies cannot stay on shelves, and it does what it does. So we're going with RS Gavin 750. They do full modular, so you can get a full modular set or a non-full modular set. So it's up to you. In this case, we're going. No, I know how to do cable management good. That's the main thing. Make sure you do your cable management right, because if you don't do your cable management right, it's gonna start packing in dust, and you gotta strip everything out to clean it. Yes, your computer should be getting cleaned out by every 6 months to a year, for a blow cleaning, so you can blow all the dust out of it and keep your performance, your PC running at good performance. That means if you go on airflow, if you go on the air cooler, The airflow of the air cooler is running perfectly. You go on all all fans. Your fans are clean properly. They blowing good, so you got no issues with that. So this here PSU is 750 watts, 80 plus bronze. I'm going no modular, and it's coming in at 69.98. All right, those are all my parts. We got no compatibility issues, so we got a green light. It's good to go. Your estimate wattage is 249 watts. Yes, we got the AMD Ryzen 5 3600. We got the Gigabyte B550 DS3H Micro ATX. We've got Team Force Vulcan 32 gigabyte dual kit, 216 gigabytes at 32 megahertz speed. We got the Team Group MP33 NVMe. We got the Team Group CX2 512 gigabyte, both of them 512s. SSD. We going with the Gigabyte Geforce GTX 1050 Ti at 4 gigabyte. And just like I said, at the price hurting at $188.90, at basically at $189, can't go wrong with that. 1080p is good. Just like I said, don't be throwing no high-end rendering games that have high, strong CG graphics at this card, because then you're gonna make yourself look like a fool. And if you do that, you gotta play everything in low settings. That means that it's gonna drop your monitor rate ratio down and everything. And trust me, playing at 800, at the monitor at 800 is sloppy. So you best to keep everything at 1080p and play the games you like. Now, enough said. I got the Rosewill Spectre D100, the RS Game 750 watt, 80 watt bronze. So the whole total power, the whole total cost of this build is, wow, $866.90. Now you could go ahead on that. You could go ahead and put it in the 800 price range, or you could go ahead and top it off at the $900 price range. Now, if you got $900, you cannot go wrong with this here. And one thing I'm gonna start doing, I hope I can go ahead and start saving us some money. I'm gonna start bringing maybe 1 or 2 of my price lists to go ahead and do a video on 2 of my price lists, and I'll be giving those away. So look for that in the future. Other than that, the price of this set is $866.90. If you like this video, go ahead and click the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. I love my subscribers I have. I love my viewers that watch my channel. So if this is intriguing to you, go ahead on and subscribe. And I want to thank y'all for watching. Without the viewers of YouTube, without you guys, this won't be possible. So I give all my thanks to y'all. Y'all have a nice day and peace.